You imagine that avoiding the drama makes you virtuous. You believe that keeping your mouth shut keeps you protected. You're wrong. Every time you nod along to a rumor, you aren't just listening. You are handing over the keys to your reputation. You are inviting the neighbors to dump their garbage right onto your living room floor. Think about that. You are saying, I am fine with this. You are telling them, use me. Use me as a vessel for your negativity. And once they see you that way, they will keep coming back for more. Not because they value you, not because they respect you, but because they know you won't push back. But here is what most people fail to grasp. Shutting down a rumor doesn't have to be a fight. You don't need to deliver a sermon. You don't have to act like you're holier than thou. If you handle it correctly, you actually end up gaining massive respect. I spent the last week digging into social psychology. I wanted to solve one specific problem. What actually works if you want to end gossip without looking like a buzzkill or ruining the mood? In this video, you are going to discover 3 things. First, why our brains find gossip almost impossible to resist. Second, 4 psychology-based methods to shut it down effortlessly. And finally, 2 advanced techniques for when you are finally done putting up with toxic energy, period. By the end of this, you won't see a rumor as a social trap. You'll see it as a hidden chance to earn real, silent respect. You know, honestly, most people never figure this out, but you're about to. All right, let's start with the basics. Why do humans feel the need to talk about others in the first place? Evolutionary psychologist Robin Dunbar had a theory. He suggested that gossip wasn't born out of spite. It evolved to bind us.
Thousands of years ago, trading stories was how we knew who to trust. It was the social glue that kept the tribe from falling apart. But here is the irony. The very thing that once unified us is now what tears us apart. In the modern world, gossip doesn't build trust. It generates anxiety. It builds walls. It fuels paranoia. It slowly erodes your standing, both at work and at home. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, put it perfectly. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Simple, powerful. Yet somehow, that fundamental rule is ignored every single hour of every single day. There is a specific psychological term you need to understand: triangulation. This happens when someone tries to pull you onto a sinking raft made of other people's secrets. They do it by belittling someone else. It feels flattering for a second, doesn't it? Like you're finally in the inner circle. But here is the truth. If they are talking to you about others, they are absolutely talking about you to others. That is why I love Mel Robbins' personal standard. She says, I don't discuss people who aren't in the room. You don't even have to announce this. Just use it. Let it be your internal compass. It changes everything. You stop seeing gossip as harmless banter
and start seeing it as a game you never signed up to play. This is where most people get it wrong. They hear a rumor, they feel that knot of discomfort. They try to shut it down head on, and instantly they are labeled too intense, no fun, or worse, they become the next target of the group's whispers. That is the backfire effect in social psychology. When people feel judged, they don't change. They dig their heels in. Most people who gossip don't think they are toxic. They think they are venting. They think they are being real. So, when you attack them, you don't enlighten them.
You just look rigid. True social wisdom isn't about fighting the drama. It's about refusing to step onto a floor covered in flypaper. You cannot control what others say. You can only master your own reaction. And that is where psychology offers us some remarkably smooth ways to win without a fight. Strategy number 1, the positive pivot. Imagine a colleague starts trashing Mike from sales. Most people freeze, or they give a nervous laugh. But what if you said, "Really, that's interesting. I've actually had a totally different experience. He was incredibly helpful to me on that last project." Gossip dead. No fight, no awkwardness. Here is why this works. Gossip is a wildfire. It can only jump the road if you build the bridge with your own agreement. It relies on social bonding theory. People whisper to feel connected. They do it because they feel insecure. By remaining calm and positive, you take away that negative energy. It creates cognitive dissonance, that slight mental itch when someone's kindness clashes with their own negativity. The person might not apologize, but you have forced them to reconsider their tone. Marcus Aurelius said it best. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. When you respond with quiet dignity, you don't just stop the gossip. You raise the standard of the entire conversation. Strategy number 2, the neutral buffer. Sometimes being nice isn't enough. The gossiper pushes back. They say, "Well, maybe he's nice to you, but you didn't see how he messed up last Tuesday." Here is your response. Stay completely neutral. Could be. Everyone sees things differently. Or maybe he was just having a rough morning. Stress can make anyone act a bit off. That's it. No defense, no counterattack, just steady neutrality. Psychologists call this emotional reframing. You are draining the emotional juice out of the rumor. It's not about taking sides. It's about snipping the wires before the spark can set the house on fire. When you reframe a rumor with empathy, the social temperature drops. Empathy is the natural enemy of judgment. You move the conversation from us versus him to maybe there's more to the story. In Stoic philosophy, there is a concept called sympathia, the idea that we are all connected, that people usually act out of confusion, not malice. That mindset protects your peace. It protects your reputation. Strategy number 3, the tactical redirect. Now that you've neutralized the emotion, it's time to change the channel.
Just say something effortless. Anyway, did you see the new office layout plan? It looks pretty ambitious. Or, by the way, how is your team handling the new software update? That is the move. You hand the microphone back to them. You steer the talk toward facts or their own lives. This is topic shifting. It's a standard technique to maintain harmony without giving in to the crowd. You don't embarrass them. You don't cause a scene. You just guide the ship elsewhere. Think of it like switching the tracks for a runaway train. You don't jump in front of it. You just make sure it misses your station completely. Strategy number 4, the humor break. Sometimes a light touch is the best tool. When the drama starts getting heated, drop something playful. Wow, we're starting to sound like a Netflix original series. I can't keep up with all these plot twists. People will laugh. The tension breaks. But don't stop there. If you just laugh and stay, they'll think you're enjoying it. So, as soon as the laughter subsides, pivot. Anyway, speaking of Netflix, has anyone seen that new documentary? Or man, I need a coffee after all this intensity. Anyone else need a refill? Smooth, balanced, non-confrontational. Psychologists call this relief theory. Humor vents the pressure.
It throws open a window in a room filled with stale air. Even Seneca noted centuries ago, "It is more fitting for a man to laugh at life than to lament over it." When you use humor correctly, you aren't avoiding the issue. You are mastering it. You defend your peace and your image in one single move. Now, let's be honest. Sometimes the person talking isn't just bored. They are a drain on your soul. You don't care about being smooth anymore. You just want to leave. Here is what you do. Technique number 1, the gray rock method. Become the most boring person in the world. Give one-word answers. Show zero facial expression. Oh, interesting. Didn't hear that. I see. Psychologists recommend this for people who feed on attention. When a rumor gets no reaction, it withers. No fuel, no fire. Technique number 2, the gentle boundary. If you want to be direct, be direct. Hey, I'm really trying to keep a positive headspace today. I'd rather not talk about people who aren't here. Can we talk about something else? Keep your voice steady. Keep it polite. And if things get a bit awkward, good. They should. That is how social norms are corrected. Sometimes a little bit of awkwardness is the only way people learn where the line is. And remember, anyone who gossips with you will eventually gossip about you. Guard your energy. Protect your name. Here is the ultimate truth. Gossip isn't actually about the person being discussed. It is about you. It is a test of your discipline, your empathy, your self-respect. You cannot stop rumors from existing, but you can make them irrelevant to your life. Epictetus said it nearly 2,000 years ago. You cannot control others, only yourself. When you choose to step away from the noise, you aren't just protecting your vibe, you are building your character. Because in a society where everyone is talking, The person who listens with intent, speaks with kindness, and refuses to be swept away by the mudslide of small talk. That is the person who stands on solid ground. When the noise finally stops, you'll be the only one left with real authority. Actually, think about it. That's the only way to live, isn't it? So tell me, which of these moves are you going to use next time the drama starts?